Hello, this is Apple Treats Season 6, Episode 2. Sorry for the noise, which could be, hopefully you won't hear it, but it probably will be there. But this is probably the best view we could arrange so far, and hopefully the audio will be still usable. Otherwise you won't hear this episode at all. So the topic for today is WWDC and our predictions, hopes,
wishes, wishful thinking. So
I propose to add one more thing. For all of our wishes and hopes, let's add our estimate of the probability. Like how sure are we that we will see that or we won't see that on WWDC26? So we are doing this because Apple announced WWDC this week, and it will be in June 8 to 12. And the same thing, online, 1 day in-person event, probably 3 days for Swift Student Challenge winners. And well, like nothing new in that regard, but let's just talk about what we hope to see on platforms and SDKs and whatever. So we both prepared something and we will try to discuss that.
So we will prepare a bingo after that?
Oh yeah, we have to. Yeah, but let's put that closer to the event itself. But for now, it's just talking about what we want to see and what we will hopefully see, what we won't see, and so on. So, we want to start?
Yeah, so I have a couple of things. Some of them about literally developers experience. Another are about OS and usability, because many things that happened, I don't know, within the last 6 years with OS, they are strange. Talking as a user.
Okay.
So
let's start with the user-facing things. Yeah, I think that's a good start.
The most interesting thing usually for users.
Yeah. And
for us too. So I recently bought my first MacBook since 2012, I believe. So, and instantly I faced the issue that menu bar is horrible right now. So there are two important things happening there. First of all, menus, which we see on the left, there are a lot of them, especially in Xcode, and yeah, they beautifully jump behind the notch.
Yeah.
Beautiful, but still, we have a lot of them. But at the same time, we have so many different menu items. I don't know what's the name for them, but items. Menu items, menu icons. So, and they are barely usable without something that can manage them. So finally you can rearrange them, you can even hide some system ones, which is great.
Yeah.
But still, I have so many different applications that I want to have there, and I want to have some system approach to manage them. I long-time user of Bartender, which was last year purchased by some company. We had a lot of questions related to that.
Yeah.
But it still works. It's fine. I love it. And I have it on my personal and some of my work laptops. But still, it's a hack. They record the video. They do something with this. And come on, Apple. Don't you have this issue? It's a very annoying thing, especially on small screens.
And since we now have MacBook Neo, well, it doesn't have notch, but it's still small screen. Like we have more.
Yeah. It's not only about notch, for sure.
Yeah, that's a thing. I mean, Apple solves that with the control center, where you can move like many of the system things and probably some of the widgets like from the apps. But again, you sometimes want to see something in the menu bar. Like, for example, I enjoy the weather system weather icon, because before that I was using also some.
I use iStats still, iStat menus still in my menu bar, and again, this also consumes some. So I moved away from numbers. I just left graphs. That's it. Because come on, this space is so precious, much more precious than land in San Francisco. So come on.
Right. Okay. Do you think they will give us something on that? No.
I believe no.
No.
It's not their focus for this year, I believe. I believe their focus will be polishing Liquid Glass and maybe again moving towards unifying the UI. But again, since they made this wonderful decision with Alumni, so maybe we will see something new.
Okay, I'll take one of my things here, and that will be also related to macOS, and probably one of the predictions which will make the idea of better management of the menu bar, like icons, menulets, or whatever. That won't happen, because I think, and some journalists say that will happen, the macOS will introduce touch-friendly controls, because we might see new form factors like MacBook Ultra, Pro, Max, whatever you call them, but with the touch, like OLED and touch. And that means you need more margins between the elements, more padding, like you need to be able to touch them, and therefore controls will become bigger, and therefore they will be like less icons will fit into menu bar. So I'm not sure that will be announced on WWDC. They might add that spacing as a part of just like refinement of the UI. They won't tell us that this spacing is like for the upcoming touch-enabled macOS, but I think we will see less icons in the menu bar, and probably more will be moved to some kind of a control center, and
they need to develop some kind of control center jail, as they did with icons for Tahoe. So come on, just do something with this, please, because it's bad.
Yeah, but again, like, what do you think? Will we see something like which will indicate that Touch macOS is coming, or?
I think so, because everything, I don't know, within a couple of years, they're literally moving into this direction because of unifying operation systems, now unifying numbers and all this stuff. Yeah, they are going to this direction, and I'm not sure I need this. Yeah, sometimes I like tapping to my screen on my iPad, but it's not the behavior that I want from my Mac. But again, we are very conservative, and that's fine. Maybe my kids will love this. So
I'm like a little bit concerned about that, because like tapping on the screen, if you're saying about kids, they don't need MacBook Ultra, like the most expensive of the MacBooks. I would like to see MacBook with OLED screen, especially if they have proper color management. That I will enjoy.
They usually have it.
Yeah, but I don't want to tap the screen myself. So I would probably want to have MacBook Pro with OLED display, and I don't care for the touch part of that. So on the other hand, like if we are talking about MacBook Neo 10 or Neo, it probably better to have touch if you want to like blur the lines between iPad and the MacBooks. I mean, but again, that won't happen because Neo should be cheap, like, or affordable, or whatever you call it. So again, I'm concerned about that. We will probably see that like this year or the next year, the touch is coming to the macOS again as a part of the unification. But I don't know how will that affect the whole UI thing. But having Liquid Glass on both of them, that probably will be easier. I don't know. Yeah.
I have unpopular opinion.
Yeah.
I can say that I like Liquid Glass. and it's something can be polished for sure, but using it for half a year now on all of my systems, so
I agree. It's I actually also like it. I mean, there are places where it like might be some things which can be polished, and I think Apple will do exactly that. So they probably will get all the feedback and like do polishing. They will provide better handling for some edge cases where like you have white on white or something like that. But it's in general, I think that's doable. It's
mostly about usability. They messed up with the usability things a lot, unfortunately. They have they had time to fix this and heard this feedback, so why not? So this is very high probability.
Yeah. Another thing about the unification. Almost everybody agrees that we will see new iPhone Ultra Fold. Something which you fold one way or another, and there are a lot of.
They can do diagonal.
I think that will be the best. Like you will have a like nice triangle which you can put in your pocket. You know what? What if that will be that will be fun?
We definitely have to ask to buy this device for testing for sure.
Yeah, but that means, at least from my perspective, that you need to unify iOS and iPadOS. I mean, they are already the same platform, but some frameworks are not available on iOS and available on iPadOS. Like not too many, but there are some. And the same goes for the iOS, like something which is available on iOS, not usually present on iPadOS. So there are a couple of things there, small things, but I think that will be unified, and there will be when you download the app on that device, which we didn't even see, or like we are not even sure that it will go into sale this year. Maybe like it will be just next year. I don't know, but the app will transition from the iPhone version to the iPad version, and they already have that, like the size classes and the whole other things. Which
like Windows on iPad, they're like nice.
Yeah,
you can do whatever you want now with this.
Yeah. So, but from the rumors I've seen, that the small size of the like closed one iPhone, and then when you open it up, I think it's like the iPad mini size when it's opened. Okay. Yeah. Hopefully you don't hear that, but
if you hear, okay.
Yeah. So something is flying around us. Something fast. Let's move on. So we have this new device which will have two screens. One screen will be like closed up. So we will probably see some indications on that WWDC. I don't know what exactly, or they will just leave it as the whole resizing parts which we have on the iPadOS. So I'm not sure we will see that, but they will definitely not announce anything about that, right?
Yeah, they try to hide everything from us now.
But again, I was like thinking about that, and I think they have enough support in the current iPadOS and iOS to make it possible that the app can be resized to the bigger screen. But what we might see is that those frameworks which were like separate to iPadOS or to iOS, they will probably be merged into like one platform.
They call it Fold OS.
Oh yeah.
iFold OS.
I mean, they tried so hard to make iPadOS as a like distinguished operating system, and I think they still failed. Like it's still not a separate one. Like yes, we have Windows there. Yes, we have Pencil Kit or like something like that. But by the way, I'm not sure if the Pencil Kit will be available on that iPhone Fold, whatever. It's a question, because none of the rumors saying that they will have this Samsung-like thing which you insert. Yeah,
it's ugly, to be honest. So I believe it's not Apple way to do this.
And I think that the current pencils, they're too big to be attached to that. Therefore, I would think at least the first generation of this foldable device won't have pencil support. at all. Like that's my prediction. I mean, like, but again, that's not WWDC topic. That's
it's a question of autumn event. Yeah.
We will talk about that. Probably we will see if for some reason we will see pencil support on the iOS. That means it will be supported, but otherwise, I don't know.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, I believe this is very high probability thing. So we will see much more of AI tools or AI related tools. Hopefully, we will see new Siri. I don't believe in that, unfortunately, but still, a lot of things around that. Taking into account they have a deal with Google on Gemini. So this one, it's hard to predict what they will try to implement because again, I really honor their strive for privacy and local computing or private computing, how they do this now. So that's interesting.
I have Siri and Apple Intelligence. I mean, even Apple no longer calls that. I think they dropped that idea. But my wishes and predictions are those. First of all, multilingual Siri. That won't happen. I'm pretty much sure we won't see that, even with Gemini model, with everything.
I know 2 languages that will be there. English, Spanish.
Or Chinese. I mean,
yeah, maybe Chinese. But usually they start with English. That's it.
So my hope is to see the Siri which will be able to talk with me or understand me when I speak 2 languages. I mean, not just English and Spanish or like more languages.
Just use the power of LLM.
Yeah, I mean the new models probably will be able to do that because Gemini can do that. Siri will be running, or I mean I'm saying this word too much and I will probably trigger something. It runs on the cloud infrastructure. It won't. I mean something will probably be running locally, but the main part of the experience of the that. Artificial intelligence assistant, it runs somewhere in the cloud. So they can run powerful models there. They can support multiple languages. But I don't think we will see that at least this year.
It's
which is
mostly
sad.
about experience. So capability, they have this. But the question is, I believe they will. It takes a lot of time to make good prompt, and they are working on system prompt now. I believe a lot, and for sure, it would be better to have system prompt in different languages to make it more native.
We'll see. Again, that's something. My kid actually will just be fine with English version, and that will be okay, and she will be able to speak with it, and everything will be just fine. I would still like to have 2 languages. I'm not that flexible now. I want to have more I want the tool to be flexible, not me. So another thing. One thing I would like to see is the unified experience on different devices. Now we have Apple Watch, we have iPhone, we have MacBook. We have Apple TV, and all of the, we have HomePod, and all of them have different capabilities for this voice assistant, and that's the big problem. And when we spoke with the guys on one of the Apple events in Developer Center, they said that Apple Watch just simply can't run the same experience as the iPhone because of the chip limitations. And I was still not sure, but they explained that there is a lot of local processing is done before you communicate with the backend, and in order for that unified experience, all of the devices need to be upgraded to something on the level of the iPhone 16 chip or something like that. So, and the base iPad does not support that yet, and we didn't have an update. So again, I'm not convinced we will see unified experience now. Hopefully, maybe later.
Talking about this, what they definitely need to think about and start implementing is running not doing the same experience on all devices, but delegating some tasks to other devices.
Yeah.
So if I say on my HomePod that I want to do something on my Mac, it should do this. They have all the capabilities to do this.
And they actually do with iPhone. So HomePod can delegate some requests to the iPhone, to the app on the iPhone, and that even worked. But it was the part of the Siri Kit part. Yeah, it's native, but it's so. You need to do a lot to that. Now we have App Intents, which I think will power every agentic experience now. Hopefully they will bring everything, and you will be able, if you use App Intents in your apps, you will be able to it's already a good thing for the shortcuts. It's already being used somehow, but if that will work seamlessly and it will understand, and you can use just natural language to call those intents, I think that will be a great way of using AI on the iPhone, and that maybe will be which will put Apple higher in this whole competition thing. I don't know, but for that needs to work. They promised that kind of experience in iOS 18. Then they promised that in iOS 26, which we still wait, and hopefully we will see the beta soon. We will see 26.5, and they should have something there. It won't use the Gemini model, but it should have this better context-aware experience. But again, it's not yet there. It's almost April. I don't know.
We in Europe even don't have Apple Intelligence, so
yeah.
I don't think about this. I think the main problem right now with Apple, and this is also part about developer experience, they need to think how they can release faster, quicker.
Yeah.
Because what they're doing right now, it's too slow. So it's I saw a meme yesterday that I go to sleep, new version of Cloud Code released. I go to sleep. So this is what happens. This is how it should work. That's why Cloud Code, Codex less, but Cloud Code is the primary tool for everyone now. So
I probably will argue. I mean, everybody expects that, but I'm not sure if that's the way to go. I don't know. I mean, I'm still. The Apple definitely needs to catch up with that, and they need their own model, and they will probably have that in some time into the future. Now they have the Google's model as a base, and they have a lot of rights to that model as far as we can read the news. So they probably will use distilled versions, even some which will be running locally. What I would want to see as a developer is to have those models on private cloud compute frameworks which are accessible from the apps. That will change the game. I mean, if I have a privacy preserving model on the scale of that Gemini models running on the backend, even if they ask some money for that from me as a developer, hopefully not, but at least if we have those models, and we have that in the API, and we have that running on the iPhone, that will change the game for many, because you will see first-party support. You will have the model which you can actually work with
and trust.
Yeah, I mean, that another wish in my list, and I hope that will happen, is the image playground that actually produces usable images. I was so hopeful for image playground to be that. I will use that. I will maybe next version that will be better. I will be able to use. And no, I'm never use that, because those images, they are bad. It's in the world where we have ChatGPT creating images, we have Stable Diffusion, we have Midjourney, we have a lot of models. Yes, by the way, which is
the best, actually.
Probably the best. Yeah, I mean, I was using that, and it's just nice. And the model's already creating videos, and the image playground is just you look at the result and you're like, really? This is as much as you could do?
Playground.
Yeah. So I want to have, yes, they added an option to call ChatGPT for that, but I can use ChatGPT on my own. Like, why do I need this app separately? And maybe for the privacy reasons, but still, like, yeah. I mean,
Who cares about privacy now?
No, I mean, I would like to have Image Playground using Apple's version of the Gemini model. Like maybe by the way, I'm not sure if Nana Banana is there. Like, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure they
Probably
will give access only to
I don't know.
to very limited amount of models.
We'll see. But again, that's something I would like to see. If not, well, we will keep using other tools. Okay, I mean, it's not a big deal to use image generation on something else. We will just like probably the Image Playground thing will just melt away essentially. That's probably, yeah. And that, like as I said, my main wish is private cloud compute models accessible from the API. We currently can do that through shortcuts, but we cannot do that through the app. We only have access to the local model.
Mhm.
I want to have big model there, and I want it to run on those privacy-preserving environments. I really enjoy Apple is thinking about that. I want to see that as a part of my development experience, and I probably will do some more experiments with that.
But it's a good question. If current hardware or potential hardware that they want to use for private cloud computing is capable of doing this, because hardware now is it's a key to success in this.
Well, that's a big question. I mean, their data centers are running on the Mac, as they said, or like probably not the consumer version, but some special. But they using Apple Silicon, and that's the part of their trust chain, which should provide that privacy. I hope that environment is capable enough to do inference on the Gemini-based model. I mean, I don't know. We will again. This is something we will probably hear on WWDC. This part is definitely part of that discussion. Everybody expects Apple to highlight.
Yeah. By the way, there are some posts when someone used Apple private APIs to run inference directly on neural engine without CoreML, and that was fast on MacBook, fast. And so if they give more flexibility in this, because a person who tried to convert TensorFlow or NNX models to CoreML, and I failed because they don't support some of layers, some of instructions. They just don't do this, and this is bad.
So there is one thing on the M5 chips, which they have these neural accelerators as a part of the GPU cores, and it seems that part will be crucial for many of the new users, because that speeds up matrix multiplications and many other use cases. So that's the M5 is probably a way to go now, because it's the chip which will be very important in all of the AI stuff.
We need M5 Ultra, please.
Oh yeah. Okay, I have a couple more things on the UI. Do you have any wishes on the user facing? Let me just quickly skip through the something I wanted to see. HomeKit. I want Apple to keep doing that and stop thinking oh yeah, we have Matter and that's it. Yes, we have Matter. I want to have stable Matter, because I have a lot of trust in the whole thing, like the Apple Home. I have lights. I have the garage door opener. I have a lot of things. Matter is less stable of everything. There are a lot of lights spontaneously. I'm no longer there. You need to reboot the light because of the vendors. I also see a lot of things when the Matter configuration changes. I see a lot of things getting in and out. I want this still to work, because I really like the idea that I can talk to voice assistant and turn the lights and set the thermostats, or I don't know, when I also really enjoy on the CarPlay, when you drive close to your home, you see the the tile pops up like open garage door, and you just tap it, and that's nice. I mean, that really makes life easy, and I just hope they won't decide that HomeKit is no longer relevant. We've heard that they are working on this mix of HomePod and iPad and some home controllers. I'm waiting for that.
Pot.
Yeah, but again, as everybody says, that thing needs new Siri experience, and we probably the device is already there. Like it's just waits for the software to be built, and I don't know. We'll see. Speaking of that, I want better automations. Currently, home automations you can build that, but those are running on some of the device which is at home, and they're slow. Like I wanted, for example, to program one of the switches to be a toggle rather than turn on. So toggle needs to run automation. It needs to check if the light is on, then you power it off, or vice versa. I've built that. It's easy to do on shortcuts. Really, that's just that's the programming for the managers. You just write that script. That script runs more than 10 seconds to switch the light. That's unacceptable. You need automations that run faster, and that goes for you need more triggers. You need more action. I mean, automations are really bad now. I mean, I want the better version of that. Whew. That's probably it. Should we go to the development?
Will we see anything of this? Maybe.
No. I don't think we will see anything in the HomeKit department now, because this is the year of
Siri.
And liquid glass polishing, hopefully.
Yeah.
So I don't
just
think.
bug fix release, please.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the Xcode and the general development experience.
I don't have any. Okay, I wish we have Xcode, some lightweight Xcode on iPad.
Oh yeah, I have that on my list too.
Swift Playground is good, but it's not a development tool. Sometimes I just need to fix a couple of lines in some of my pet projects. They're small. I don't even need to build it there. We have Xcode Cloud. It works sometimes, but you can use it. They can even build something around so you press Command B and it runs there.
Yeah,
it's possible. I am ready to pay for that, even some amount of money, but yeah.
Yeah, Xcode Cloud Plus, that would be a perfect name. We already have iCloud Plus, and I fully agree. And having iPad, and again, we have iPad Pro. Guys, we have keyboards, we have mouse or the touchpad there. We have a lot of things which you can do on the iPad. And
sometimes I just want to detach my screen from my workstation and do something with this. So yeah.
And again, the thing that we have Xcode Cloud, and one, I know that will trigger some people, but since we have agentic coding, since we have those models, you probably can do something even talking to your iPad. And if you have that part built into the Xcode version, which runs on iPad, you can still write
Xcode Mini.
Yeah, but again, if you have the codex or Cloud Code, or I mean even Apple, if they have their own model, if you can talk to that model and it will do some changes for you, and maybe that will be good. And you have Xcode Cloud. I repeat that multiple times. You can put something there. You can charge money for that. Why not? Some people will pay. Maybe not everybody, but who knows? You can probably provide some, integration with GitHub, or you can provide secure hosting for the projects. I would definitely consider that. And that, again, for those who start coding on their MacBook Neo, that will probably also be an option to have your service to do that. Build not on your local machine, but on the server. Be hosted there. You have smaller size here. Probably that. I mean, will we see that? Probably not. But that's where, I would really want to see that as a unification, which we are talking about. That probably will affect the MacBook sales a lot, to be honest. But again, that will bring.
I don't think it will affect a lot because still.
You will probably have both. Yeah, I agree.
Using iPad as a development tool, like as just one development tool.
Yeah,
no, it's impossible. It's for
additional
kids. It's for someone inexperienced, maybe for students, whatever. But for like developers, you still need a MacBook.
I think like when a developer goes for a vacation, you take the iPad with you,
Yes.
and you still can do something like. And
you don't need to do this.
Yeah.
It's not advice. Please don't follow it. But yeah, you can at least
I
have
mean,
this possibility.
we just talked about that today, like this 669 or whatever. That's something which already happens. Like we will see people working more and more in order to not to be replaced by some AI. I mean, you are not being replaced. You just get laid off by the boss who thinks that AI will do stuff. But again,
then they will suffer, but
Yeah.
it's too late.
yeah,
already.
yeah. But you will still be affected by that. So again, iPad, Xcode on iPad in some way or another with the agentic coding, that seems logical to me. Like really, like you probably even like can live without the physical keyboard. Like again, if you're doing that's not always like you just talk to it. Ask it to build something. You see, like if that's enough, you build on your Xcode Cloud. You get the result. Perfect. That's
Yeah. So they have all the pieces. They just need to combine them.
no. I don't know. Do they have that? We'll see.
We'll see. Actually, 50-50. I don't know. So
I mean, the Xcode Swift Playground is a step towards that direction, but it's oversimplified. Yeah.
yeah, I tried to do something with it, and it was. So it's hard to connect packages. It's hard to do anything because it's not about how I get used to work with Swift and like small POCs, whatever. Still, it's hard.
Another thing I would like to see Xcode going towards, probably won't happen, but maybe the community will help, is the Android and server-side development. I mean, we see Swift for Android SDK, we see server-side SDKs, and we see a lot of efforts from the Swift team to push Swift into server-side, push it into bare metal with embedded Swift, and we see a push in like the Android. I mean, it's still like on the early stages, but they're getting there. Like there are a lot of progress for that, and they probably you want developers to use Xcode for that. Maybe like again, will we see that? Probably not. But there is some you can already build Vapor with Xcode, like Vapor apps. They have a template. It has some things you need to do in order for that to happen. But you start with the Swift package manager. And by the way, maybe that needs that's another thing I have on my list, and we'll talk in a bit. The Swift package manager needs to be more, I don't know, like Xcode needs to be a tool built on top of Swift package manager now.
Yeah. So we need to go away from these wonderful Xcode proj files.
Yes.
We just need to.
That's my list. So the project needs to be. I mean, the simplified version of that probably should be just Swift package. I mean, we have almost all tools there. I mean, probably there are a couple of things which are not directly mapped there, but I think it's almost there. We can just remove the Xcode proj and just use Swift package manager.
Yeah, I suffer now because if you're developing an app with packages, and for sure you want to, so you either divide your app to domains, auth, home, whatever, or you divide it by layers. So I prefer domains. So I want to have auth layer with the login, sign up screen, all API around this. I want to have tests there. So I want to have one package with multiple targets there.
Yeah.
And now it's impossible to run tests because Swift test doesn't have access to UIKit.
Yeah.
And all other. So it's, and running this with Xcode build takes in many cases so much time.
Yeah.
So you will, so sometimes it's just easier to check it with your eyes rather than building this. We are back to this time when you first write code, understand it, and only then you build it.
Yeah, and now, like again, the beauty of Xcode that you can have UI over this Xcode proj file. If we have the same UI over the Swift package file, and like you will have some guides to make sure that the package file is built correctly. I mean, like now you can do that in code.
It can be even not a package file. It can be
or
app file, whatever.
Yeah. Well, again, I think the package file is already good enough in a way.
A package is like a package. So
well, I mean, you can, there are executable packages. Like you can have a package which is like the executable.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. But still, like if you migrate everything to the Swift package manager build system and build the UI on top of that, that will be
Xcode Mini.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Or like again, like when they started introducing new build system, like the new build system, like the new project file, like, and it will be just like version of the package file. I mean, guys, you can do that.
Yeah,
it's not a big deal.
I hope.
Yeah, and I think the Xcode proj file is essentially like the very terrible leftover from the past times. Like
from Xcode 1.
Yeah, I mean, it's so bad, and it's one of the. I mean, they improved a lot in terms of making it easier to resolve merge conflicts. Like they're still possible and they're still terrible, but it became better in a way.
But now they generate folder references by default instead of
that helps with that specifically, because like that was one of the reasons why when every file has the GUID which needs to be like persisted, and like you very small issue with the merge and your whole file is dead, like you need to. So again, that's I would like to see probably that could happen. I mean, I really think that's one of the things which they can add as an option now. So you can create like the regular projects and open the existing projects, that's for sure. But you probably can have like, they might call it as a simplified project for now, because it might not support all of the features of the Xcode proj file.
But again, so they're moving towards this because now you can configure many of info.plist parameters in project file.
Yeah.
So, and adding another abstraction that can, I don't know, even this can generate Xcode proj under the hood.
That's.
They can hide this from us, and this is totally fine. But just make it easier to bootstrap the project.
By the way, I'm just looking at the whole this list, and I see we want like better AI tools, but everything else is essentially like, let's do the bug fix release. Like let's fix annoyances rather than like introduce new big feature there. Like that's So everybody talks. By the way, a lot of people call that Snow Leopard release. Snow Leopard was not just a bug fix, but I would like join the whole army. Like let's have the release which is at least viewed in that particular way as
stabilization. We need it.
Of course, you need to bring all the AI stuff there. Of course, you need to bring new voice assistant there. Yes, and by the way, I'm really looking forward to new voice assistant, because one of the things I want to have is to ask it multiple things in one sentence, and it should do that. I mean, come on. That's I currently even can't ask it to do.
To turn on 2 lights?
You can do that, but you need to be very specific in how you ask that to do. But I mean, I want to see that. But that's, of course, Apple needs new features. Otherwise, like they are doomed, and like, But we also want to see things running stable, and some things like Xcode proj file. This is the annoyance that needs to be fixed. It's
Okay.
So I think that's it. End of my list. Do you have something on your mind?
I have one, maybe not one. It's a long discussion, but still, I still believe that Apple needs to go further to open source.
Okay.
And here I mean Swift UI. because I believe the current. So yeah, Swift UI now is in good shape. Finally, after 6 years or 7, we're now good. But still, there are a lot of things that we need to tweak with UI view representable and other stuff. So what I'm really missing, I want to see the code. I know that it's a heavy, complex C++, but I just need to see the Swift UI layer or Swift version of this. So
yeah,
and so let's be honest. So yeah, it's their intellectual property. That's fine. But what's wrong? So no one will try to recreate their own Swift UI. They can even so it's similar to you cannot deploy the version of app with a custom Swift toolchain.
Yeah.
So just give us access, and it's mostly about understanding how it works and how to work around it. Because so I had the same question about Combine, because that was a good tool. Yeah, now it's not necessarily so hard, but still, if they release it, we will still be using it a lot, because it's about extension. It's not about, oh, we have this vision, let's do this, and this.
Yeah, I agree. The open sourcing that might help, especially like a lot of guys already recreating the stuff they are doing on their own. Like we probably can talk about the Swift Talks, which we really admire. Like the guys doing great job on explaining things, and I like watched all of their episodes. And by the way, we had Chris on on one of the episodes.
Maybe it's time to meet again and ask.
Yeah. Hopefully, maybe during WWDC, we'll see. I have no promises there. That's not up to us. But the Swift UI is already being examined in terms of how it's done. So it's like even if that's their intellectual property, people will know how it works. But for us, it's more important to see like how it's implemented in order to be prepared for the. Or maybe even suggest fixes. Again, like open source works both ways.
Yeah, it's so. Swift is now.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not fully like. So yeah, it's open source. It's not a community driven, unfortunately yet. But still, we don't need it. We sometimes just need to have some impact on that.
Yeah.
And why not? So what you're hiding there? What's interesting? And another thing that it will be much easier to create Android version and have this parity with Jetpack Compose.
Yeah.
Folks, I don't want to use something produced by Google and their team. I want to use our stuff. I'm not 100% sure I love Swift UI, but I know how to use it and it's much better for me. So,
and again, that will make it easier to bring it to web or bring it to the Android. If we are talking about like having Swift as the starting point for cross-platform apps, like
because seeing how what people can build with Swift UI.
Yeah.
I would definitely like to have this instead of React Native or anything else on all platforms. Okay, at least I need 2 platforms. Yeah, for sure. You don't need to have. So this is another question. So do we really need this in this time when we have AI tools? So this is how I plan to do my next pet project. So I write the Swift UI version, then I will take some existing architecture for Android and will ask my colleagues to rewrite each feature in this way. So I know how to navigate it. I don't know how to write good Android code, but still, it's achievable. But maybe I would rather write everything in Swift UI.
Yeah, we'll see. And again, I don't think they will do any open source with Swift UI yet.
But they have Swift testing open source, which is good. I want to see their opinion on mocking.
Yeah.
So That would be interesting. Swift mock, like their own Swift mock.
By the way, the Swift data which they have, it also a good candidate for the open source because, like, I know it relies on the core data, but you can work around that. Like, you can do that as an open source, and maybe community will help with all the predicates issues, with all the, like, again, that's possible, and that might be beneficial for Apple as well. I mean, that's
taking into account that Apple doesn't grow a lot in terms of headcount and their engineering capabilities. Folks, just use our help, please.
Yeah.
We can do things better together. Yeah, it should be supervised by you.
Oh, yeah.
That's totally fine. We don't need to move these repositories to Swift-Lang organization. Just have it under Apple. That's fine. But I don't know. So I really miss this part. I feel that our experience, we can make things better together.
Definitely.
We are not allowed at the moment. That's sad.
I agree. That's probably we won't see that, unfortunately.
Not this year, not the next year, but by the way, so it's just a big question. I don't know, maybe you know, who is driving developer experience part in Apple?
I think they have
some SVP, VP.
Yeah. Now, well, I mean, the Craig was one of the guys related to that, but I think it's not his role anymore. I mean, he's probably just the platforms. Well, I don't know. Yeah.
So it's a question of last, I don't know, 15, 20 years. Apple need to start working with developers together. They have Queen.
Yeah.
So
Queen. Yeah, that's
the best guy ever we have.
We need. Well, I mean, he probably won't come, but we need to get him on the podcast because that's the person who like does the most effect with like the small developer, because the Apple work with the big guys, like they deal with them, but with just the regular developers, the Queen probably is the person to go.
Yeah, so time for promotion.
Yeah.
I vote for VP. Just do it, because they need someone to hear developers and to start being so. And we know that we have our guy at Apple, because I don't know who is our guy at Apple. Maybe someone from Swift team, Ben Thompson, or what's his name? I don't remember. Thompson?
Cohen, maybe.
Maybe. I don't remember. Sorry, Ben. But yeah. I'm not into the ecosystem anymore, unfortunately. But but it's not so many. We need someone who can make decisions, and because come on, Apple App Store generates revenue for you, a lot of revenue. Yeah, maybe, and as a user, we discussed this last time. I don't like what's going on with App Store, but I understand why Apple pushing towards it. So that's fine. Make it easier for us to make something usable and better for users, and listen to us. We need this.
And on this note, we will probably finish this episode, and we will try to bring a bingo for the WWDC in time for that. We publish it somewhere. Hopefully, we'll see.
We will ask Gemini to help us.
Nobody does anything by hand now. Yeah, it's ape coding, right?
Yeah.
Ape typing. Okay, thanks everybody. That was a fun episode. We'll see
with a beautiful view.
Yeah. We will see how our predictions and hopes were like matched with reality somewhere in June, and we will probably get back with the review of our expectations. But now, have fun. Let's wait for WWDC and see you next time.
Yeah, see you next time. Thank you.
Bye.